Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Farrah and today's going to be the start. Oh, couldn't get that out for a second. Today is going to be the start of a new vlog. It is early November and yeah, I just wanted to pick up kind of where I left off in the previous vlog. I'm reading a couple different things right now, or I have plans to read a few things. So I talked really briefly at the end of my previous vlog that I was reading Frankenstein, and it was something that I wanted to read for a really long time. I have the 1818 edition. Where is it? Right here. And you know, it's not going as well as I would have hoped to, and I'm struggling to find a way to talk about this because I am such a people pleaser, and I feel really bad to say negative things about books that other people really love and adore. And I think most people really love and adore this book. So I'm going to get into it a little bit more, but yeah, at least where I am right now, it's different. I mean, I knew it was going to be different from the traditional Frankenstein and the way he's portrayed in movies and pop culture. But I had a different idea in my head of what it was going to be like, and it's not quite like that. So, and don't get me wrong, I really enjoy slow burn books. I mean, I read Clarissa for the love of God, and that's got to be the slowest burn book I've ever read in my life, and I loved it. So it's not really that. I can't put my finger on it yet, but I'm going to try to get my thoughts together on how I feel. And if you don't know what the plot is for this book, it's a little bit of an epistolary type of novel in the beginning. And we're getting the story being told by Victor Frankenstein through a letter that this different guy is writing to his sister. So it's a really interesting way of storytelling right off the bat, something that I don't think I've come across within other novels before. So that's different and very creative, I guess. And we're hearing about, we get some foreshadowing in the beginning. Victor's totally distraught. There's this weird creature that he's been chasing through. Is it the Arctic? It's a cold nautical situation going on, and so I am excited to see where it goes, and maybe it'll flip over a little bit for me. Maybe something will be really, jumping out at me to change my mind, but we'll see. I'll have some thoughts on this one. And then I'm also going to participate in Dr. No-Vember. So for this reading event, I'm going to be picking up a couple different novels about espionage, or focusing on the espionage or spy genre, which I'm really excited about because I had a couple kind of in mind before this event happened. So actually I'm lying. I only had one in mind, but because of the event, I did find a few more picks. So both of these I have started a little bit of so far, and I'm really enjoying them. I gotta hold on a sec. My arm is so tired. I gotta rest for a second. Okay, we're back. The arm is refreshed. So the first one that I'm going to be starting or picking up is this book. It's called The Spy and the Traitor by Ben McIntrye, and this is the greatest espionage story of the Cold War ever told, apparently. So I heard about this book from, I don't know her first name, but her channel's name is For the Love of Stories, or For the Love of Story. And she really raved about this book. It was in one of her videos where she was talking about, I think, maybe nonfiction books that read like fiction. And this book tells the story of a Russian KGB agent named Olav Gordievsky, who he grows up in a family of KGB agents. Well, his dad and his brother both work for the Russian KGB. He starts working for them, but somewhere along the line, he decides that he doesn't agree with what is going on within Russia's desire to spread communism throughout parts of Eastern Europe. So he ends up switching over to work for, kind of as a double agent for the Britain Secret Service called the MI6 agency. So it tells a story about his life and what happened to him and how he got into this and why he would ever be motivated to switch sides and become a spy for the British, and his experiences. And I think the culminating event is extricating him from Russia safely back into the UK once the KGB starts to suspect him. So I've only started this a little bit, and it's going really well. It's very captivating. It's easy to pick up and put down. So really, really enjoying this so far. So I'm hoping this will be a good read. And then the other one I picked up, and once again, I'm reading way too many things at the same time, but it's just how it goes. But this one is called A Woman of No Importance, and this is the untold story of the American spy who helped win World War 2. And this is by Sonia Purnell. And this one is also a nonfiction, and it tells the story of an American spy named Virginia Hall who goes to spy for Britain in France. And all I know is that she has a prosthetic leg, and she became one of the most dangerous and wanted spies that the Germans were trying to capture. So this is completely intriguing to me. I can't wait to get into this. I have started this a tiny bit. I've got, we're just kind of learning about her and what she was like and what would make her want to do something like this. So yeah, I'll have more thoughts on this as well. But those are the 3 books that I have currently going right now. We'll see where the vlog goes, but just wanted to let you guys know. All right, I just finished Frankenstein. Oh my gosh. I have so many conflicting thoughts about this book, and I really didn't vlog much about it because honestly, I didn't really like it very much. And I hate to say that, but I didn't want to just keep vlogging about all the different reasons why it wasn't working for me. This is one of those instances where this is such a well-loved book that I'm like, is there something wrong with me that I didn't really love this? Like, it seems like most everyone else did. I don't know. I will say the story really didn't get much better. My favorite part was the monster's point of view when he's telling us, recollecting what he... Sorry, I don't know what happened to that video, but I guess it got cut off. I don't know what happened to the rest of what I was saying, but I guess just to wrap it up for Frankenstein, I thought that the writing was really good in certain ways. Some of the sentences she wrote in here, here's the thing. This kid was 18 years old when she wrote this. She was 18 years old when she thought up this story, and that's where I think, for me, it's the most amazing part of this book, is that it was written by somebody who was so young. I mean, my older daughter's 15. I can't imagine her writing this in 3 years. I mean, I could never have written this. But I guess the concepts and the ideas that she was able to generate and think about at that young age was absolutely incredible. And that is what I can see, or is where I can see this was a complete masterpiece. And I wonder, I always, when I'm reading classics like this, I always wonder what that first reader experience was like. All the people that read this for the first time never had a concept of Frankenstein, Victor Frankenstein, the monster, it didn't exist yet. So I always try to picture that. What would it have been like to read this for the first time? So there's a lot of really intriguing and interesting things about this book. But, I'll just give you an example of a sentence that, stuff like this was really incredible. Here she writes, "A human being in perfection ought always to preserve a calm and peaceful mind, and never to allow passion or a transitory desire to disturb his tranquility." I mean, was that Percy Shelley popping in? I don't know. Mary Shelley's really an amazing, intriguing woman, and I would really love to read more from her, or You know, I'm pretty sure this is her most popular work. But I think, you know, I haven't really gone through the extras in here as far as the introduction and some of the stuff in the back. And I'm going to watch Book Chat with Pat's video to see what her thoughts were, because I know she put out a video about this. She taught it in school. And I think this is just one of those books that I'm going to like it more as I talk about it with people more, or as I hear different viewpoints, because overall I think what was difficult for me was that I don't know if I enjoyed the type of storytelling that they had. I think I may have enjoyed it more if it was happening at the same time you're reading it, as opposed to Victor telling the story to this guy who's recounting it to his sister. So I would have been more interested in the creation of the monster and how he thought it all up. The one thing that I couldn't get past, unfortunately, was the in the monsters chapters, you know, how did he learn language so quickly? How did he read so much in that short span of time? You know, I know you have to suspend your disbelief, and that's not really the point, but I just got hung up on that. I don't know. So yeah, this book definitely made me think. I was a little bit disappointed that I didn't like it more, but I'm just trying to be honest. You know, I guess not all books work for everybody, but I'm glad I read it. I really love this rooster because it looks like he's wearing pants. Let's see your legs. Well, happy Thanksgiving to all of my American friends here. I just want to show you, we woke up to some snow. This is our first real snowfall. We got a little bit last week or so, but it was just, you know, a tiny bit. But it always makes me excited because, you know, it's kind of like the start of the holiday season in my mind. And for those of you that have Christmas in a warm climate, I just, yeah, what is that like? I can't imagine. But yeah, so we are hosting Thanksgiving here this year at our house. And usually my husband's dad will come over, and my mom and my stepdad maybe. But yeah, I don't know if they'll make it with the snow. They both live quite a little bit away, so it might just be us, but that's all right. I'm down for a relaxing Thanksgiving, honestly. I haven't had much time to relax at all this week, so it would be nice. But I know you're going to be seeing this way after Thanksgiving, but happy Thanksgiving. I am thankful for all of you. Hello everyone, just a quick check-in. It's Thanksgiving and I have not vlogged much at all this whole month, so I'm really sorry about that. I don't know what happened. I just got very busy, but this will probably be my last clip, so I'll just chat for a little bit with you guys. So November was really fun. I participated in Nonfiction November, Dr. November, and no, I didn't get to anything for it. Well, yeah, I guess I did get to Historathon. And oh my gosh, you guys, sorry, I'm out of breath. I've just been walking up a hill. I participated in my first live video with the lovely and wonderful and kind hosts of Dr. November and had a good time. I was really nervous, but they were so nice and they made me so comfortable. So I think it went pretty well. I did kind of freeze up at one point, but when I rewatched it, I was like, okay, you can't really notice. But yeah, it was really fun. So it's been a great time getting to know them and just having more fun participating with BookTube. So I'm still reading the same books though, so not much has changed. But I'm going to talk a little bit about The Spy and the Traitor. And The Spy and the Traitor is really, really good. Oh my gosh. It really gets into kind of the psychology and the motivations about wanting to be a spy and how your ideology of, how you want things to be can just push you over that fear barrier in terms of, the risks that you might take spying for somebody you're not supposed to be spying for. And I think that it's really well written. There's a great sense of tension throughout. There's some interesting scenes about when he's getting recruited by a British agent, and they're at a restaurant and they're going back and forth and they're trying to figure out who's spying on who, and are you going to turn me in, or it's funny. They're looking for a tiny little clue. Like, it kind of reminds me of like if you're like somebody or you're going on a date and you don't want to be the one that shows too much obvious attraction, and so you're just looking for that tiny little clue or that tiny little body language or whatever. So that book is going really well. I'm really enjoying it. It's just that it's going slow. Nonfiction does tend to take a little while for me to get through because I really like to sit down and read it. So I'm at about almost halfway through that one. So I'll be working on that. I put it on hold because I got really, really captured or captivated by A Woman of No Importance. This is the one about the true story about the American woman who went to France to spy or to assist with the resistance movement against Germany. And this is incredible. Oh my gosh. I love it. I mean, I really love it. I think the writing's great. It's really told like narrative nonfiction. You almost feel like you're reading a novel. It's hard to believe that this actually happened. When I read nonfiction like this, I do kind of take it with a little bit of a grain of salt and realize that, I'm sure it's not 100% accurate. I'm sure the author had to take some of her own liberties to move the story along and add details in there that she wouldn't, she would never know. So Virginia Hall is an incredible woman. I don't want to talk too much about the plot, but essentially she had a freak accident where she had part of her leg amputated. But this didn't stop her. She still managed to become a spy. She was extremely talented with languages. She spoke perfect French. She spoke German, Italian, Spanish, and Russian. I'm not sure. I think it said that she spoke them all very well, but French was the main language that she knew. And the story's incredible. Just talks about how she was able to organize these different little bands of guerrilla circuits, or these circuits to gather information and intel to send back to Britain. And she had all these friends, and she was very attractive. She had beautiful eyes, and she just had such a selflessness about her and such a passion for the country of France. She had fallen in love with the country of France so fiercely, and she just wanted to help so badly. And she just really got people to join this resistance and help her. And I think, the way she was able to push back so much fear, the fear of being caught and tortured. And it did go into, what the Gestapo did to these people, especially to women, if they captured you. I mean, whatever they did to men, they just did worse to women. Yeah, this book is so good. I'm so glad I picked it up. I don't know if I ever would have without this event. So yeah, I'm really grateful for that. So I also started another book on audio, and this is called The Alice Network. This is by Kate Quinn. And this one's historical fiction, but it's a dual timeline that talks about a woman named Eve who was recruited into the real Alice Network, which was a network of female spies living in France, assisting the British with intel from the German forces. And she joins that, and it kind of tells her story about her experiences and how she became a spy and how she got really successful at it. She was very good at lying, and she also spoke perfect French without an accent because her mother was French. It's really interesting so far. And the other timeline is about an American woman named Charlie who accidentally gets pregnant, and her parents want to take her to Switzerland to have an abortion because they're ashamed of the situation. So she kind of breaks away, she escapes from her mother, and she goes to find Eve, which it's been 40 years later, so she's in the future. So Eve is now an older woman. She has severely disfigured hands, and we don't know why, and she's got some PTSD, and so the story's kind of, the dual timelines go along until I'm sure they finally convene at the end. But yeah, the audiobook's really good. The narrator is amazing. She's able to do all these different accents really well. She does a perfect American accent. I would never guess. She's originally from New Zealand, which is pretty cool. But she does a really good British accent. I can't judge if it's perfect or not. Sounds good to me though. And she does a Scottish accent. She speaks French, and it sounds perfect. Again, I don't know if it is, but to me it does. So yeah, I'm enjoying all 3 of these books for Dr. November. I'm going to try to finish them up. Well, I'm not going to finish them this week, let's be real, but there's a couple different things I'm going to be reading in December. So, they might get pushed back again a little bit. We'll see. But yeah, it's Thanksgiving Day. I just popped out. Everything is just waiting. We're waiting for the turkey to get done, so time to kill. But just wanted to share with you a little bit of the beautiful snowy weather we got today. Unfortunately, it did hinder some family from coming, but that's okay. No problems, I hope you're all doing really well. Thank you so much for watching, and happy start to the Christmas season if you celebrate. I love it. I'm excited. So I will see you guys next time. Bye.